Give you a quick look at where we are now. The smoke and the heater is put together. The power for the heater goes to a common ground junction. Oops, I'm off camera. Here's a common ground junction, and then here's the switch for on-off smoke, and then the smoke power goes back to the input to my control board. So the smoke heat is going to come out of these main leads from the engine, but we're going to manage it with this on-off button up in the back of the cab of the engine, so you can turn the smoke off and on. My wife is always on me to put that in. There's the headlight. I've got an off-white, antique white looking headlight, so it's not going to be a bright, it's an LED, but it's not going to be bright white operating system LED. They're also back to the shared ground junction, and then it has its own power because it goes to purple, because the controller can turn the headlight off and on in forward. So if we go into reverse, the headlight turns off. That's one way. This is the common ground that everybody's going to be sharing through this junction, and then this is the hot, and then this is the link for the light. Everything else is pretty self-contained except for the motor, and of course those leads will have to come through the board itself. So it looks like 5 wires will have to come out and hook up to the tender, and I've pretty well got them routed. There's a white wire that goes to the motor in out of the connector there. Then there's a brown and black wire that come out and go to my switch for the trigger, and then the black continues to ground. The brown just allows the ground to close for the motor, and so that's how the motor gets its energy and voot, 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 and all that stuff. And this bracket, I may have to change this angle. You can see I stuck it out a little further than I needed to, so I may want to make a new part that I bring it back to here and flatten it out so that board is a little more tucked down. I don't want it to be sticking up like that, and I don't want those wires to be getting close to that wheel. So if I can lower it and flatten it out, then I'll feel a little safer. And that is easy. I just use my heat gun, cut it, warm it up, bend it, let it cool, and I'm in shape, and then drill it for the holes. So that's a pretty easy thing to do. I started working on the completed wiring for the tail. I've got a spot for this power regulator. I'm going to put it in the roof. Then, okay, I'll be right up. Then these red lights will be poking out up in the corners. And then I'm thinking the white, and now this is a bright white, but it's a very low level, small. It's a 3mm. I think I might put it down low, more near the bumper or whatever that is, so it's not up. Sometimes I put them up, but I'm just not sure with the red and that. I like that. I think down here it's more of a white light that shines on the track, so it might be a better approach for that. So that may be what I'm going to do. And then I'll have the junctions for that. I believe this is the wire for the tail light, and once again they're going to share a common ground here. And then this is the power for the red lights. The red lights are going to be on all the time. Okay, all this will be more tidied up. This is for the headlight. This, I don't know what this is for. Figure it out. I think this is just the red and black, hot and black. I got to make sure I get those right when I bring them over. Both of these wires are flex wire, so whichever side wins the battle of where I put the junction, it's going to be flexible. I don't know that I'll be able to make them unplug or not. I may, if I have a plug, I may just leave it in here and have everything run through here. You take off this shell, then you can unplug the engine. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but I'll try, or I'll at least look it over. And I think those are all the big pieces. Oh, and I left these bare here, the hot and the cold junctions. This is the hot junction for the smoke through the switch, and that's the hot junction for the smoke to ground, so that I will be able to bring in the firebox wiring and tackle that, and just punch them right in there. So they'll be attached, and you'll have to cautiously fold it over. I'll see what I can come up with and how I can make that as convenient as I can as far as maintenance. I always worry about maintenance because I'm usually one that has to figure it out, but I'm feeling really good about this as far as the harness goes. 3 or 4 wires, not too bad, and then the motor, and we should be in good shape. So I'm going to send this out. I may have to put it on YouTube so you can get it from there, but closer. Sorry it's taken so long, but we are really close now. All right.